In the blistering heat of the Australian outback, a team of geologists kneels on the parched earth, not with hammers or drills, but with petri dishes and microscopes. They're not here to dig or dynamite. They're here to listen, but not to the wind or the earth's vibrations. They're listening to bacteria. Yes, bacteria. They're not looking for oil or gold. They're searching for something far more elusive and valuable: diamonds. But the stunning twist? They're not the ones doing the finding. That job belongs to the microbes. It sounds like science fiction. A microorganism, invisible to the naked eye, pointing us toward treasure buried deep beneath layers of rock and time. But this is not fiction. This is real science. And it's rewriting what we thought we knew about mineral exploration, biology, and the subtle power of life on Earth. To understand how a bacterium could possibly help locate diamonds, we have to zoom way out millions of years back and way down hundreds of kilometers. Beneath the Earth's surface, diamonds form deep within the Earth's mantle, under crushing pressure and blistering heat conditions so extreme that carbon atoms, which usually settle into graphite, are forced into a more compact crystal lattice. That's what makes diamonds the hardest known natural material. But they don't stay buried forever. Occasionally, volcanic eruptions from deep in the mantle bring diamonds to the surface, carried in a rare type of magma that solidifies into a rock called kimberlite. These kimberlite pipes are ancient, narrow vertical channels that cut through the crust like frozen explosions from the deep past. Finding them, however, is like finding a single needle in an endless field of haystacks. You can't see most kimberlite pipes with your eyes. They may lie hidden beneath meters of soil, vegetation, or desert sand. Traditional techniques like magnetic surveys, drilling, or satellite imagery are expensive, slow, and not always effective. That's why scientists started turning to an unlikely ally life. Not all bacteria are created equal. Some like it hot. Some feed on sulfur. Some live in acid. And some thrive in the mineral-rich soils that sit above kimberlite pipes. They don't care about diamonds. They don't know we exist. But by simply living their tiny bacterial lives, by feeding, reproducing, and dying, they leave clues that can be picked up at the surface. Researchers started noticing patterns. Above certain diamond-rich sites, microbial communities were strikingly different. Specific types of bacteria, those that feed on iron, manganese, or sulfur, were more abundant. Why? Because kimberlite rocks contain a cocktail of trace minerals that subtly alter the surrounding soil's chemistry. Bacteria respond. Their populations shift. Their metabolisms adapt. And these changes, though invisible to our eyes, can be detected with the right tools. That's where modern genetic sequencing comes in. By analyzing the DNA in just a handful of soil scientists can now map entire microbial ecosystems. It's like reading a microscopic fingerprint of the underground geology without digging a single hole. And one particular group of microbes has emerged as a star player. Desulforudis audaxviator, literally, the bold traveler, is a deep earth bacterium that can live in complete darkness with no oxygen and feed off radioactive decay and sulfate. First discovered 2.8 kilometers underground in a South African gold mine, it defied everything we thought about what life needs to survive. Its metabolic profile suggested it could live in ancient rock fractures, feeding on the byproducts of geological processes. While Desulforudis itself doesn't sniff out diamonds, its cousins, and functional analogs in diamond-rich areas seem to do just that, flourishing in the presence of kimberlite-associated minerals and leaving behind metabolic trails, like a neon sign for those who know what to look for. Australia's Commonwealth Scientific and Industrial Research Organisation, CSIRO, was among the first to put this theory to the test. They collected hundreds of soil samples from diamond-rich and diamond-barren zones. They cataloged the bacterial DNA they found, and they found clear, consistent differences. The most promising soils? Not the ones that looked unusual to the naked eye, but the ones with microbial signatures associated with Kimberlite chemistry. This was a game changer, because for the first time, we could listen to the Earth without disturbing it. No bulldozers, no seismic blasts, just soil, life, and code, and it worked. In multiple field tests, bacterial data accurately predicted the location of Kimberlite pipes that had never been mapped before. Drilling confirmed the science. What had once required months of expensive geophysical surveys now took days with a swab and a sequencer. But the real wonder lies even deeper in the philosophical shift this represents. We used to think of life as something that adapted to geology. But what if geology has always been shaped by life, too? Some researchers now believe that microbial activity may influence the formation of minerals themselves, not just surface oxidation or weathering, but deep subsurface alteration. The way bacteria cycle iron, sulfur, and carbon could subtly impact how crystals form, how fractures evolve, and how fluids move through rock over geological timescales. In this sense, life doesn't just decorate the earth, it sculpts it. And as mining moves into deeper, harder to reach terrain, microbial guides may become our most valuable resource. Because they're already there, doing the work for free, 24 hours a day, feeding on invisible clues, and leaving behind signs that we've only just begun to read. And the story doesn't end on Earth. What happens when we apply these lessons beyond our planet? Mars has volcanic provinces and signs of past water. Europa has an icy shell over a liquid ocean and possible hydrothermal vents at its seafloor. Could microbial prospecting done by robotic landers or drills help us find not just life on other worlds, but their buried geologies too? Could bacteria be the bridge between planetary science and resource exploration? Back on Earth, we're only beginning to explore the potential. New companies are now combining AI and microbiome data to automate mineral exploration. Others are exploring microbial biosensors engineered bacteria that change color or light up when exposed to certain minerals. It's not hard to imagine a future where prospectors walk the land not with maps, but with sensors that smell the soil's bacterial breath. And beneath it all, in a grain of dirt, a tiny bacterium quietly processes iron or sulfur or nickel, unaware that its life story might hold the secret to a fortune buried below, not with pickaxes, not with dynamite, but with DNA,